join me in sort of a meditation about time, which is a subject that interests me a lot. We used to think it was this precise thing, but really, time is in our heads. I mean, time is relative, and even Einstein said the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. So as we think about things, you know, be flexible. You know, come on. I'm not used to 20 seconds.
I know, it's too long.
It's much too long.
There's going to be these 5-second gaps.
But with the sort of dying of the industrial age that we're going through right now and entering the network era, a lot of bets on time are totally gone because you can do so much in such a little unit of time. And yet we're still stuck with things like the 8-hour day, where you figure they're not giving enough if, you know, they don't spend 8 hours, I don't know, writing new patent applications or whatever. I mean, this is a totally inappropriate way of measuring output. It worked in factories. It doesn't work with knowledge workers. Daily newspaper. In the States, a lot of us watch the Jon Stewart show. And he sent one of his crazy reporters to interview the editor of the New York Times. He said, I don't understand. Why do you just sell old news? He said, old news? Not familiar with old news. He said, yeah, everything is paper. Happened yesterday. I mean, you know, we get our news from Twitter. Annual report. I mean, I cannot imagine an investor saying, oh, well, I've got to wait another 6 months to find out what's happening with the company. Once upon a time, maybe, but way too much can go on. Wall Street bonuses. The market is cyclical, but they choose a unit of a year for awarding a business, a salary. If you just happen to come in this year, you do great. It's the wrong unit, right? I mean, I'd have like 5-year bonus plans, not 1-year bonus plans. And one of my favorites is the 1-hour lecture, because study after study has found that you can't really pay attention for more than about 9-10 minutes for the speaker rapping on like that. So I think probably colleges would be better off if they replaced all the 1-hour lectures with 6-minute sessions. You'd be able to retain things. The forgetting curve kicks in. In fact, I suspect that it kicks in that you've forgotten the first part of the lecture by the time you get to the last part of the lecture. You'd even have time for reinforcement if you replace the hours with just little bitty chunks. Now, how can we do stuff that's so crazy and have 1-hour lectures on and on and on? And the thing is, it's when we think that time's an event. Time's never an event. Time is always a flow. So there's a beginning, there's where we are right now, and there's where we're going. And if you think about things that way, I suggest that all program designers should think that way, that then you look at consequences and you incorporate the forgetting curve into your design for learning. And maybe beforehand you have a bit of unlearning, if you will. Time flows faster, faster, faster. I mean, we can all feel this. It's going so fast now, right? Ray Kurzweil, fabulous inventor, projected the speed, the rate of acceleration of time. And he says, look, this century, we're not going to have 100 years, 120th century years. We're going to have 20,000 of them. And not only that, things are changing at a different pace all along. So, you know, fashion, go, 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 switches, you know, when you wake up in the morning, versus, you know, nature, evolution, geologic time, and things like that. Well, also in organizations, we have these different rates. I mean, I hate it when I deal with an insurance company that operates at the speed of the U.S. Post Office. And my son hates it if I'm fooling around with email because he wants to be real time on his BlackBerry. And it's sort of interesting to watch the clash of cultures when people come in with different time assumptions. It's like the dog here says, I'm afraid I don't understand all the reports of our upgrade having a delayed release date. Unless, wait a minute, how many people here didn't know I was speaking in dog months? Some of us have bosses that think like that. Phil Zimbardo, the psychologist who ran the Stanford prison experiment, recently came out with findings about how our perceptions of time change behavior. I mean, some people live just in the now. They tend to be irresponsible. And some people are, living way into the future. And he called up an experiment done by another professor at Stanford that involved putting a marshmallow in front of a 4-year-old child and saying, look, I gotta leave for a little bit. If you got the marshmallow still when I come back, I'll give you another one. Well, they went back 12 years later, when these are early teens, and they found that the people who ate the marshmallow immediately, those who were only paying attention to the present, were they had screwed up lives. They were moody. These people, the 2 marshmallow people at college sports scores were 250 points higher than the 1 marshmallow. And that's just, from when you're 4 years old, and you can change your orientation toward time. I look at organizations and think that I know an awful lot of them that are, stuck in a time war. Well, Jean-Luc Godard said every film has a beginning, middle, and end. Although not necessarily in that order. But that is the end of this, so thank you very much.